Well, I haven't made a video in a while. I just haven't felt the urge. Anyway, there's a few things I'd like to talk about. That's my nature. I'll talk about the absurdity of human beings and the world we live in. I noticed a post yesterday on Facebook, and it was based in Ubud, which is, if anyone's in the know, a spiritual community, allegedly. Now, the guy in question, or the person in question, so I suggest, was getting peeved about the fact that every time he went to a yoga class, people weren't addressing him. Well, I don't know whether he brought up the topic, but there was no acknowledgement from the yoga teacher about other gender specifications, like gender pronouns, or they always just referred to as men and women. And this individual was whining, for want of a better word, online about it. Now, this individual made a long post, and I just politely responded by saying, all that really matters is that the way you view yourself, and doesn't matter what other people think. And I made it, asserted that the Fort Police had been a big problem on the planet for a while. And then I told a brief story about how I used to go dancing at psytrance parties, and then over time, they started creating safe spaces for women, and then safe spaces for LGBTQI or whatever. And then the politics started being rammed down everybody's throat. So, the initial festival was just about people coming along. The only expectations was no aggression, positive attitude, and accepting others completely for who they were. And that's exactly what was happening. No one gave a hoot whether you were a goat or a cat or whatever. In fact, that was quite appreciated if you dressed up as a goat or a cat. But where am I going with this discussion? I just had a conversation with an alleged friend, and I was making, for want of a better word, generalizations about women today. And, there seems to be a correlation between women's decreased market value and their increased expectations, which makes no logical sense in the marketplace in any reality. Imagine, you're a baker and you're selling loaves of bread, and you begin making really low standard loaves of bread, but expect more money for it. Well, good luck with that formula. Anyway, I'm getting back. This person who I've known for quite a while wasn't happy with the way I talk about women. And again, it really doesn't matter whether it's women or anything. It's just this Fort Police, this idea that we all have to think and relate and talk and be I mean, no one's endorsing violence or aggression, but to think that you have to delete certain words and, just be fake, really, to suit the feelings of others. It's become a little bit precious out there on planet Earth, and this is actually just a first world dilemma. Meanwhile, in Africa, people, or India, are scrounging around trying to make money and feed themselves and pay for their bills and whatever they're doing. But, Western women going to yoga classes and, they're making sex more complex and solving Rubik's Cube these days. And they want men to sign up for this. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I sort of made a brief listing. Was, I'm basically unvaccinated, and I would suggest about 95% of people out there foolishly took the solution that the system influenced them to take. Now, where does that place people like myself? Well, if you get intimate with an individual who's subscribed to the protocol of taking the vaccination, they're basically constantly recreating this RMNA vaccine within their body. And if you get intimate with them, you will pick up their vaccine status, and it'll infect your body, and it'll start integrating with your DNA. So that creates a really limited spectrum of people out there that you can get involved with. This is frustrating, to say the least. You've got a lot of people in the New Age community that haven't subscribed to these vaccines. But the dilemma there is you're also faced with a lot of their crazy ways of thinking. You've got to maneuver yourself around all that. One of them's political correctness. The other thing I'd just like to briefly say, because I know this discussion's sort of all over the shop at the moment. I just got back from the supermarket, and you only got to look at what people put in their trolley, and you look at them, and you realise why they are what they are. The majority of the population are obese. They're functioning at almost, I would say, 20-30% of their intellectual capacity. They're just really low energy, low vibration humans. And it's quite sad to see, because when you go out into the world, you want to look at things that are aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and all you see is really unattractive looking humans. Now, nobody's going to like that, but that's my I can't believe in the 21st century with all the information on the internet about health and diet and blah blah blah, that people are still quite ignorant about all these things, and it just requires a little bit of a mindset shift and some discipline, and and anyway, that's all I've got to say.